Hello and welcome everyone to the Techno Trainers. We will be soon starting our next batch on SAP UFI Fury. The complete training will be on BAS, popularly known as Business Application Studio, which is the next generation tool for SAP. So let's understand a small topic on how to design a login page in UFI. So I have the basic screen for the user login. Let's try to build this login page in SAP UFI. So for building the login page in SAP UFI, so we are going to use these controls, that is simple form, label, input, bar, and button. So what is simple form? So simple form control provides an easy to use API to create a simple form. So it helps us to create a fast form in very less time, and then finally the form which is created, it's responsive on across all the devices. So then we have the labels. So label provides a textual label for other controls, and the labels are used as a title for single control or a group of controls. And the labels for required fields can be marked with an asterisk. So then we have the input. So it allows the user to enter and edit the text or the numeric values in one line. So the bar control, it basically helps while designing the headers. So if I want that bars to be controlled in a headers, so I can use the bar. A bar is nothing but it's mainly for designing of footers, subheaders, and headers of the page. So it consists of these areas to hold its content, and it has a capability to center the content such as a title while having other controls on a left and right side. So finally we have the button. So it just enables the user to trigger action by clicking or tapping the button or by pressing the certain keyboard keys. So all right, let's jump in and start designing our login page from scratch. So I've already opened my business application studio. So let's create our first project using the Fury Freestyle template. So I'll click on view, find command. I'll enter welcome page. So once my welcome page is executed, so I can have the three options, that is new file, project template, and the clone from Git. So we are clicking on the create project from template. So it will load all the templates which are available throughout the business application studio for developing the application. So let's select our SAP Freestyle Fury Freestyle project. So template. So once our loading templates are available, so we need to select the environment. So select the environment as a Cloud Foundry. Select the SAP UFI application and click on next. So the application we are developing is a Fury SAP UFI application. So we need to enter the project name. Let's enter it as a login user project. Click next. Let it be the standalone app router. Just click next. Let's keep the default setting as same. Let's click on next. So it will take some time to configure. Okay, let it be. I want that my view name to be view1 only. So I don't want to add any service. So it's already there, that is no. So I'll click on next. Okay, so finally our template is generated. So I want it to open into the new tab, that is new workspace. Let's click on new workspace. So it will open the project in the new workspace environment. Let's wait for some couple of seconds. Okay. So our project is loaded. So let's expand HTML5 module, expand web app. So we will write a code in Vue, that is v1.xml. Let's close this. So first we need to create a simple form. So for that we have the control simple form. Let's select the simple form. So the simple form is included in the library, that is sap.ui.layout.form. So that's why, so form is nothing but the alias name, which will indicate that the simple form is stored in the library form. So then we can give so we want this form to be editable, so we can write the editable property as true. So I want the layout also. So I want to use the layout as a responsive. Can click on responsive grid layout. So after that, so we have couple of properties too. So I don't want my label span to adjust automatically. I want it to adjust based on the layout, that is responsive grid layout. So I'll keep the adjust label span as true. Sorry, false. So then so I want my label in last screen to take the 4 columns, and in medium device to 4, and in small to take the all 12 columns, so that my input will come after the label. So this is nothing but we have the column L. So it would be the basic length for our input fields after the label. Then we also have the column. We can keep it as the same, that is 1. Okay. So let's put our control in a aggregation that is contained. So I will declare the first, that is the label control. I can give the text as a username. So I want this to be a mandatory, so I can declare the property that is required. Required equal to true, so that user will get to know that it's a mandatory one and we need to fill it. So then we can declare the input. So for input I can give the ID as a inp underscore username id. So in simple form, whenever you declare any label, so it will consider it as the new line, and the input will be kept aside of a label. So let's add the label for password. Password. Keep it as a required row, and I've moved the input field for the password. And the type of password must be password, so that I don't want that anybody to see my password. Okay, so you can so I just need to save. So let's run your application. So for running your application, so let's click on HTML5 module, click on this run configuration, click on a plus icon, that is create a configuration, select your project, that is a login user project, right? Select your index.html, the version of UFI version, that is as of now we are selecting the latest. So enter a name, so let it be default. Okay, so finally your run configuration is created. So now I want that application to run on a new tab, so I can create this green play icon, that is run module. So it will start creating all the dependencies for running the application, and it will also create a local host where we can actually see the results of whatever we have entered in a XML page. Let's wait for a couple of seconds. Okay, so once it's loaded, just click on open in new tab. So it will open the application in new tab in a localhost server. Okay, so now you can see the username and password. I just want to change my title, so I can directly go to my project folder. I can expand this HTML5 module, so it's already there. So the title I18 and title. So if you want to change this title, just go to the I18 folder, just open the I18 properties, change, that is the user login. Just click on save. So now I want the button for the login. So if user want to log in, so I can create another aggregation for a footer. So in footer, I need to add a bar for designing my footer, because I need to keep the login button at the right side. So for that I'm using the bar. So I want this design as a footer. So that's why we kept the design as a footer in a property design. So then we have the aggregation. I wanted it to the content right. So I'll click on content right, and I can put my button, keep the text to button as a login, and I want to trigger an event. So I'll give the press event. So I can add my function name, the custom function name, that is on login user. So let's try to save and run your app. Just refresh your application. So now you can see your username and password with the required. Your header is also changed, that is the title, and you have the login button at the footer. So I want that button to be in accept mode. So we can change the type of button as a accept, so that the button will be displayed in a green color. So it will help the user to identify that after clicking on login, it will help you to navigate to the next screen. So now the thing is that the input fields are taking this much amount of space, and I don't want that input to take this much space, because I don't want that my username to score. It's not looking good. So in this case, what you can do, so we have the properties available for the simple form. Just use the empty span. So for large screen, I want that to be 4 columns. Same for the medium screens, just like the tablets and all, I want it as a 4. So then, okay, so as I'm running this application on laptop, so it's a large screen, so that's why I kept the large 4, and in medium, that is M4. So I don't want this space in the mobile, so that's why I've not kept it. So let's save and refresh your application. Let's check it now. We need to check whether our form is getting responsive or not. So finally, you can see the results that our login field, that is the input field, it's set to the properly distance. So let's check, let's inspect. Let's check into the mobile devices. Okay, so it's adjusting automatically accordingly based on the device. So if I want to check this in iPad Pro, so you can check, still it's taking properly, it's getting responsive on each device. So that's what the benefit of using a simple form. So I can still check on any iPhone 5C, still it will work impressive. Okay, all right. So let's add some logic. So one of the key elements for building any application is the logic. So let's add the logic. For writing logic, we need to write the logic in controller. Let's expand the controller. Let's click on view1.controller.js. So let's declare our custom function at the time of accept trigger, that is this on login user. Let's copy this method in this. This is a function, so that's why I'm declaring function. Just declare the parenthesis. So now I want to get the username and the password. So for that, I'll declare one variable username equal to, so this is nothing but the current view1's instance, and I want that instance to get the view. So why we taking the get view? Because we want to get the IDs from the view, so that's why we call the method get view. So that dot, we have the method by ID. So we'll just copy this. So this as a password. So let's copy the ID, input field ID, because we want to get the value from input fields. Okay, so now the variable username and the password having the IDs of the input fields, that is username and the password. So what I want, so let's close this. So I want to check this username with the already defined value. That is, for example, in this case, I'll declare I'll declare a username which is predefined, that is user as a John, and the password as 1234. So what I will do, I'll compare this username with this user. If user is entering John, then we will display that it's okay, it's fine. If both the login and password is correct, then we will display a pop-up message, that is the login successfully. If not, then we will say that it's an invalid username and password. And if user is not entering anything, if user is not entering anything in username and password, if I directly click on login, then we need to also give him the error dialog box that you need to enter the username and password. So for that, we can add the conditional statements like, so this is our username, so this is our ID. So to get the value from this input, so we have the method that is get value. So username dot get value equal to, so I'll check whether it's empty. If it's empty, then I want to declare the one message box. To use the message box, first I will define it in the header. So I'll define it. So message box is defined in the library sap.m. Copy the message box and pass to the parameters to the function, so that our message box will be available throughout this controller. So now I can directly use this message box dot error. Please enter username, and we need to stop our execution process. Same we can do it for the password. So I can directly, okay, if value is null, please enter password. So in else, if username is there and if password is also there, then we need to check this user with this username, a password with this password. So we can again use the conditional operators. We can use the username dot get value. If it's, we need to check the type and value both. So we can check, we can use the AND operators that we need the both, that is the username and password, to be exactly identical to this user and password. So in that case only we are just going to display the success, that is the login success one. So I want this password get value equal to TSS. So if it's exactly fine, then we just need to just declare this as a success so that keep the message as login successful. If it's not matching, then we can give one error message. Invalid username and password. Alright, let's stop the execution using declaring the return statement. Let's save the code, Control S. Once it's saved, refresh the application. So let's click on login. If user doesn't enter the username, so it will give the error, that is please enter username. Yes, that is right. So let's enter the username as anything ABC. So let's click on login. Yeah, it's working fine. Yeah, we need to enter the password too. Let's enter password. Okay, so we have entered the password and username both. So now we need to check both this username and password, both are right or not. Okay, so it's saying invalid username and password because we already kept one condition in this line, because we need to match with this user and password. So for that, let's enter the John. Let's enter the password as a 1234. Okay, yeah, so finally it's done. So thank you guys.